Hey everybody, welcome to the 186th episode of Super Joystick Radio, a weekly gathering of friends here to talk about all things video games. My name is Andy Halder and I'm joined by one of my favorite party members, Justin D.
Yeah!
Today we'll be discussing Cyberpunk 2077's latest woes, the world's largest cheating ring gets busted, and some of our favorite Easter eggs for Easter in games. But first, what have we been playing? Justin, you want to take us off?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to go through a few of the games that I was playing this week. So, Wednesday night, we had sent out a message to the Discord, which, we're super stoked to be able to get together sometimes with, the lovely people there. And yeah, absolutely. So we tried the Tony Hawk. It actually ended up being a huge bust, sadly. We could not get a decent session together. So if you have the PlayStation 5 and you want to play with the PlayStation 4 person, it's not going to mix very well. It's very much like water and oil, unfortunately.
Not mix at all. You can't play with people.
No, you cannot. So it was very unfortunate. I was really looking forward to getting to play with you and Shmed, but it turns out that if you have the 4 and you want to play with someone that has the 5, they also have to have the 4 version installed. And if they want to play the 5 for the upgraded graphics and everything else and all the tweaks and bells and whistles that came with the 5 version, then they play the 5 version, but you can't cross between the two. So it was very unfortunate. So it was kind of weak sauce. It was really kind of a bummer. But anyways, I did go on to play some rank skate session. It'd been something that, I dabble in a little bit, and I'm all right. But I went from being around 1.7 million points on Warehouse to 3 million in about an hour.
Nice.
So I was able to chain a lot
too, right?
Yeah. So I think I put a highlight up there on the Twitch, and this is my Birdman. I went literal Birdman. I wanted that punk rock persona.
My guy has a mohawk too, but it's green.
Nice. I thought about going green. I just kind of wanted he kind of reminds me of the Mohawk punk kid from Rock Band, and that's what I was kind of going for.
Oh, okay.
Like Johnny Snot or something like that, I think is what his name is.
Sounds right.
Yeah. But
dude,
anyway,
this combo that you're doing here with the wall plant is sick.
Yep, that's the way that you can so that's a 600,000 point move right there. But I've been able to land it with 2.2 million at times. Yeah, it's so I bail a few times. I'm definitely someone on this level somehow has 100 billion points. It's something ridiculous. Just, Dr. Evil.
That's just crazy.
Some freaking sharks with some laser beams on its head. I have
laser beams.
No idea how they chain that shit together. And there are still people that have it blows my mind, but some people have 33 billion or something. It's obscene. And I'm like, how this right here, I was gonna nail it, but it was 800,000.
Right.
So this was not the 3 million run. I think this one ends up being a 2.2 million, which is pretty decent. But this is my jam. This chain here that I'm going between these ramps. It's easy to turn. Once you get the timing down, you can turn and then do a quick flip trick between the jumps and everything, and then that just stacks up the points. So. And
are you varying your tricks so that you get maximum points? Because I know if you keep doing the same tricks over and over again, you get less points.
Right, it's very true. So yeah, I do break it up. I'll try to hit a ramp or whatever like that and do an actual grab trick versus a flip trick. But yeah, no, this is my jam. This is where I come for to build a huge quick, because these rails aren't very long, so you don't have to hold the balance as much.
Yeah.
And so you can easily just flip between them real quick and get a second of each of them, and then boom, it immediately just jumps that counter up. So does
it reset your balance at some point? Because I feel like there's points where it looked like it was doing that.
I think it's based upon the jump and if you land switch or if you land your standard.
17,000, baby.
Yeah, but then like I said, just later on that same little spurt or whatever, I hit 3 million and I jumped to 10K, which was pretty awesome. So yeah, come to school with me and the Hawkman. We'll teach you. So yeah, I like I said, I haven't picked this up since September. I was chasing the platinum, and then I saw all the shit that goes with platinum, and I said, nah, it ain't for me.
No thanks.
No, thank you. It was it's too rough, honestly. I had to walk away. Like, one is nail all the gaps in every single level, which is just time consuming. And then there's get to level 100, which is also time consuming. But the one that's incredibly difficult is the hard get there's, which is chaining gaps that can span the entire level.
That's insane.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know how you have, and you can't use any cheats for that. So like, you can't like go into the mods and turn those on so that you don't bail or anything like that. So like, it is insane. So I said, nah, I'm never gonna hit that, and I'll pass. So yeah, I dipped my toes back into the Tony Hawk, and it was a lot of fun. I wish we could get together for that, but anybody that's got a 4 or is okay with sacrificing the graphical fidelity.
Yeah. So let me clarify that we could get together and do this, because on the PS5 we can play the PS4 version, which I'm okay with doing. Although I did buy the PS5 upgrade for $10, like because you guys were planning on playing it. I'm like, well, I want to play it at the highest fidelity and like with all the adaptive trigger stuff and everything like that. And then I buy it, and then right afterwards, you guys are like, oh yeah, it doesn't work.
I know,
like,
it's so
no.
irritating. Because I'm guessing you've got to have both versions of the game, which means double the memory, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which is silly. Like, it should really just be able to, be able to intermix. Let it just be. Let it be. So I continued on playing It Takes Two with my wonderful and beautiful and ever so talented Megan.
Sounds like you're in the doghouse or something.
No. That's if you go to my Twitch stream, I have it labeled as that every time I play with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how I have it labeled. But she's crushing it. So I did run into a few mechanics that I actually didn't care for. It just didn't. It kind of like slowed down and became more of a hassle. I feel like some of the mechanics did, and I just didn't care for it. It really came in that toy section, because that's actually split into like four different parts, which I do really love. That toy section is awesome. Like, it's super cool. Oh yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a lot of fun, but there were like parts of it where you get like different abilities that I was like, this just felt, didn't feel good for me. So but honestly, it's still super fresh. Like, the game has not recycled anything. There are like things that you can do throughout the game that like you can ride on these little like rail posts pretty much. And like double jumping and dashing and everything like that like that all, and you can jump from like ring to ring using your like string or whatever like that. So like those mechanics stay throughout the game, but then you get like these main mechanics to help you beat the levels. And again, those have never been repeated so far, which has been just phenomenal. Like, it's just one after the other. And so we've made it pretty far into the game. I have a feeling we're kind of nearing the end. Maybe we're at the 75%. And I don't want to give too much away, because if those people want to like be surprised or enjoy those mechanics, you could try out the first chapter, and I don't mind spoiling that, because you could already do that yourself. But I don't really want to spoil anymore. If you want to go to my Twitch and watch the episodes, go for it. It's just it's a good time. You'll watch us both die horribly sometimes. But the bosses are super fun. The mechanics are great. And even, like I said, those parts that I didn't like, never got to a point where those even mechanics were recycled. So the ending of the toy section is rough. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it kind of made my stomach sick, like to the point like I felt like an awful human being.
Really?
So yeah, there's a moment in that thing where you're just like, this is not good. Like, I just feel like the worst person alive.
That's interesting. So, because I was telling you before the show that I did download the trial of it so that I could, we could play the first chapter, me and my wife. And yeah, right away, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks awesome. It's really cool. And then it gets real heavy real fast. It's like all about divorce and like how it affects the little girl. And they're like the parents are swearing and things like that, which I'm like, oh, I thought this was more of like a family game, but it's not, which I appreciate. I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I would say maybe, it could be something that you and your daughter play at some point down the road, but probably not now.
Maybe after I get divorced.
don't say that. That's awful. My wife is talking mad trash in the,
Just kidding,
in the chat right now. She's like, yeah, I barely ever die. And then it looks like it's falling on my shoulder. She's like, he's really slowing me down. It's true. There are times that I'm like, oh, I want to go explore this, and she's like, no, come this way. And I'm like, I get it.
Go this way.
Yeah, right. She's like leading the charge. She's a ball buster.
But your better half. Your better half.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, I want to hear about your next game, though. I'm very excited about this.
This game I beat in one day. I saw this trailer on my Switch, and I was like, oh my god, I have to play this game. It absolutely just blew my mind. So the game is called Genesis Noir.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fucking brilliant. I mean, it's just straight up one of the most unique, super innovative. The art style is just crazy. I mean, the right here is some highlights that I put together, but I did this in about 3 playthroughs. And I would say it probably took me about 4 hours to complete it all the way through in different sections. I was juggling, baby duty and also playing this. So I'd have to take a few breaks. And then I did run into some bugs, which I'll talk about here in a moment. But
bugs?
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
I know. I ran into some things that were very strange. So this is a super cool part. This section is so cool. You're painting up this clock, and then you're dancing, and this is the entire game is very monochromatic. It's very white, black, grays. There's really not a whole lot of actual color at all. Yeah, and so this part right here was so cool. This did get a little buggy here, actually, unfortunately, because you're only seeing a very small portion of this clock. And it's huge. It's massive. And when you get to these corners or whatever like that, you're supposed to be able to go into sort of the next part of this clock, and it's supposed to be more fluid. But as you can see right here, I'm trying to make my way to this.
Oh, it's
edge,
not letting you go.
and it's not letting me go. So I had to switch over to my mouse instead of my controller, and I was able to break through whatever invisible barrier that was there. But yeah, it was really strange because I thought well, maybe if I color in everything, I was like, maybe it'll let me through, but yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so this one does run a little bit long. This clip does, but because it's just so cool. I again love this. So like I said, I split it into about 3. So it's in 3 parts, and then I did a final review on it. This is a really dark, gritty game. It's
little dancing people. It's hilarious.
Oh no, it gets even better too. When you finally get off the screen, and I can go into these worlds to kind of unlock these different
should I jump it forward a little bit here?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. There are heroes or whatnot, maybe a couple minutes. There are heroes that interact within your story. Oh nope, still stuck. There we go. Okay, so here's one of the heroes, and so this is the scientist, and she's part of the storyline as well too. And these are all these different people that make up your life, and people that you've met, and they help explain different things in the story. And so yeah, this game is great. It's a love story turned metaphor about the Big Bang Theory with several other theoretical hypotheses like the multiverse theory. And like I said, it has this dark, gritty 1920s Dick Tracy meets the Twilight Zone with plenty of jazz. And I'm not talking cabbage. This is yeah, so right here, this is the thing, and I wish you could have audio for this because the song in this is so
I actually
trippy.
do. Whoopsies. It's on the stream. Yeah, I just turned it off. Yeah, hopefully we don't get a stupid thing.
Yeah, no worries. But honestly, it's just a trip. The song plays throughout this entire thing, and as you unlock, there's 3 other people, so there's 4 in total. And then as you unlock these different worlds or whatever like that, they join you, and there's this big hurrah dance or whatever. And then there's this even trippier part where you're just zooming through this. It's just a trip, dude. Seriously, if you didn't feel like you were on acid while playing this game, I don't know what you were doing. It feels like you should be high. like you getting a contact high from playing this game with how like just dynamic this art is.
Yeah,
and
it's
how
crazy
trippy.
looking.
Oh, dude, it's wild. So music is fantastic. Like I said, the sound effects throughout the game is wild too. It really just brings you into that environment. Um, you just feel part of the story, and it's really gripping and it's compelling. And I streamed, like I said, the entire bit of it with a separate review. I actually felt really dumb because I did a three parts, and at the end of the third part, I ended up doing the review, but realized that my microphone wasn't plugged in, and so I thought that my
Whoopsies.
native mic that's built into my laptop would have just kicked in, but nope, it wasn't. So the last bit of my third part, I'm just like talking to myself for like 10 minutes, and I bet you people are just thinking like, this guy's probably like lost his mind. So, but I did do a separate thing. I can't speak highly, more highly of this game. It's just really a great experience. Like I said, I would give it a solid 9.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Seriously, like a 9.5 out of 10. I loved it. Like I said, it was breathtaking, the entire experience. It's so unique. I honestly sat there for like an hour or two that night when I beat the game and thought, is there even a game like this out there? Like, it's so unique and so different. Like,
Mhm.
I couldn't find like a kind of a game that even borrowed elements of. Like, it's not really a role-playing game. I mean, yes, it has puzzles, but is it really, could you consider it necessarily a puzzle game? Like, what would you consider? Like, it's
I have
so
no
hard.
idea what you even classify it as.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's an experience. That's all I can put it as.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and there's not, like, for me, I can't think of a single way of me to put it in a way that, like, again, there's no way for me to say like this game is borrowed from something else, and that's why it feels so unique. Like, you really need to play this game. It's so good.
Well, it is free on Game Pass also, so if you have Game Pass, I already downloaded it.
Yeah, so it's on Game Pass, it's on Steam, it's on Switch. So yeah, just check it out. I mean, give the walkthrough a little bit of a playthrough if you want to see it, play through it. And if you like it, great, go for it. Yeah, so I think you just skipped it a little bit ahead too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It sounded like you were getting out of this segment, so I wanted to make sure we saw some of the other stuff.
Here's the dance, like they're all doing. It's so crazy. It's the most bizarre thing. They're all having a good time. It's a big old party, and like you're controlling. Like, if you click on the sort of the person in the center, like it splits into the 4 different personalities, and if you release the hold on that, it splits back into the sort of the melded version.
I can barely understand what I'm looking at here. I mean, it just looks like a crazy psychedelic game.
It's so good, dude. Towards the end of it, actually, there's like another part where like you're just like streaming through. If you want to just clip to that really quick, because it's a really good clip as well. It's just so good. Yes, this is it. So one thing that I have to say with this game is that, like I said, I the only reason I'm not giving it a 10, and again, is because I ran into 2 bugs. So the first bug I ran into, there's an underwater spot. We've got to turn on these lights. And I spent probably 20-30 minutes working on this one puzzle. And I was like, why is it not working? Like, why is this not working at all? And it really bummed me out. I was like, how is this?
Whoa.
How can I not?
She just took her dress off.
She took her dress off. Yeah. So this is the girl that you're pursuing. This is a love story, like I said.
Okay.
And that is Miss Mass. Like I said, it tells the story through the Big Bang Theory. And so, yeah, so this is the part that I was talking about. Like, it just like you're just cycling through this crazy, it's just like you're falling through the world of this game. It's so bizarre. I slowed it down right here really quick, and then I was like, let's take off again. So
so you're controlling this.
Yeah, so you can control the speed at which you're gonna go through that.
What?
And the world is just ripping apart, and boom, there's the Big Bang. And so love this game. Like I said, so I got to this part where in the underwater, turning on these lights, and then the lights themselves would not turn on anymore. And I was getting so frustrated, so I had to go to YouTube and watch a person's game like play through themselves. And when I was looking at it, I was like, well, that thing didn't happen. So I realized, well, that was a bug. So then I reloaded. And and jump back in, and I was able to get through it. And then the second bug I ran into, which you can see at the end of part 2 of my playthrough, is what stopped me, was because I hit this part where you're on this bench with that, the girl in white, and while I'm sitting there, you're supposed to be able to spin the camera around to these 4 doors that you're supposed to go through to like sort of continue the storyline, and it wouldn't spin. The camera would not spin, and I ran into that bug twice, and I thought, oh shit, my game's over, I can't go any further. And so then I went into the option screen, and I realized that I went into the option screen and I made a few adjustments to my options, which shouldn't have had any effect on the actual gameplay itself.
Of course not.
Right. But then I went back in and it immediately fucking worked. And I'm like, what just happened? This doesn't make any sense. Like how all of a sudden does this now work? This doesn't. Yeah. So I was very frustrated. But again, just absolutely love this game. Pick this up if you see it. Like I said, if you've got Game Pass, it's free. Get it. One thing I do want to leave you with is a quote from the game. There's not a lot of dialogue. There's hardly any writing. There's nothing that you really read for the most part. But there is one thing. So you talk about how, and this game kind of like also talks about conservationship and like how you shouldn't take advantage of the world because eventually it's going to run out of energy and you're going to have to colonize something else, whether that's fossil fuels or whether that's the ozone layer or black hole swallows the entire universe. That's the idea. And so at one point the Earth gets swallowed up by a black hole, but just before it does, they launch like a shit ton of ships, passenger ships away from planet Earth to try to colonize different worlds. And so one of the quotes from one of the members was, just because something is a game does not mean that your thoughts, your feelings, your expectations are trivial or irrelevant or meaningless. For it is in these that lies a game's true beauty. I thought that was like fucking amazing. Like that's so true. Like what if you love video games, regardless of the type of video game it is, it doesn't have to be the most splashy. It doesn't have to be the most competitive. If you have an experience with a game, if it brings you some kind of emotion, it connects with you on a deeper level. If it develops the nostalgia for you, then chase it. Cause like a game is art and you should appreciate it for what it is. And not let anyone try to stand in your way of telling you what it is and what it's not. So,
well said.
Yes.
Well said.
Andy, what have you been up to, buddy? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of different things, actually, but this week I'm going to talk about a game called The Gardens Between.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this game, I got it on Game Pass. It was on there, too. Apparently, it's on a lot of other platforms as well. It's a very unique like time shifting puzzle solving game that has some like pretty simple mechanics. So I got some gameplay here too because it is hard to describe in my opinion. But basically, you get sucked into. First you play as 2 neighbor friends who have a treehouse in between their 2 houses, and they're playing one day, and then they get sucked into this world of their memories together. And they have to complete like these little islands, all these little islands to regain different fragments of memories. And then once you beat like 3 of these fragments, then you regain like an entire memory of something. And that helps you progress. Basically, the goal is to just like unlock all of the memories. Okay. And so basically the controls are super easy. You just hold the right stick, or you hold the stick to the right to move time forward, and thus your characters move forward. And then you can press and hold left on the stick and you reverse time. So it's kind of like you're moving them, but you're not really moving them because you either move them forward or backward in time. So it's kind of like you're scrubbing, like a video or something like that. More
interesting.
Yeah. As opposed to like actually controlling the characters. So, but you do have control over both characters. So if you see right in the video here, the boy character is the one that can interact with these particular items in the world. And the girl she has a lantern, and the lantern, she has to fill it with light, and that can come from all different kinds of sources. So right now on the screen, you're seeing this crazy retro game play out.
Oh, it looks like straight up like Mario.
Yeah, it's like an homage to that, but
right.
Yeah, so then it's that thing can carry the light, and then she can take it basically.
Okay.
And then use that light to like unlock areas, or you need to get that light to the top, the finish line at the very top of each mountain. So you have to, and sometimes you can cross places with it, and other times you can't. So you got to get rid of it, and then get it back, and get rid of it, and get it back, and then ultimately when you get to the end, you have to have it. So, so that's basically the goal of the game. Yeah. So the kid, what he's doing right now, the other kid's doing right now is interacting. He's able to scrub time forward and backward, independently from themselves.
Okay.
So like there's the two mechanics really. There's the one where you scrub the time world or the world time forward and back. But then you can also, when he gets to one of these pillar things, you can scrub certain things that exist in the world independently from the world time, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like, for example, there's one part where there's like a VCR, and you can rewind it using a method like that. So it's very trippy. There's like a lot of, some things are moving, some things are paused, and you can manipulate those and move them around, and it's very crazy. But all the levels look really unique. They're all very small. They're just like a little island. But the art style is awesome. It looks really cool, and there's a lot of little Easter eggs of like, in this last part, the video that we're watching, we saw like a Super Nintendo looking console.
Yeah.
Here's like a Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper bottle or something, and all sorts of little funny things, and the Mario kind of Easter egg that you were talking about. So
I mean, it looks straight like the scene from the first world of Mario.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's called like Super Chicken Guy or something like that. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. So, there's interesting things that they do with the mechanic, but ultimately it's still very linear. So, which I'm okay with. I beat it. I think it was under 4 hours. It might have even been a little faster than that. I didn't really have any problems. So the puzzles aren't really that hard per se, but it does do some interesting things. Like right here in this video, you have to like stop that box underneath, like midway underneath the carpet, so that when the carpet falls down, the box holds it up so that you can access a switch that's underneath it. So there's some things like that where there's just, interesting. Yeah. Seeing here in the world time, something falls from the sky at a particular time. So you have to like get this other, you have to get one of the boxes with the lantern on it to go underneath where that's going to fall in the world, and then go back and fast forward the time again. And then it'll fall into that guy, and then you rewind and then go back and get it. So there's a lot of little, and I realize for people listening to the audio version of the podcast, you might not be understanding what the hell I'm talking about. Actually, you probably didn't understand any of this, what we've been playing, but so you should get on Twitch and watch us do this live, or get on YouTube and check out the video version, because we got, video of it too. So it's a lot easier to explain when you're looking at it. But I like the game. The music's really good too. And the sound effects. Every time you finish one of these little islands, you get to the top and you both grab the lantern and put it into like a pedestal, and it goes
nice.
Yeah, which is rewarding. But so I mean, check it out. It's free on Game Pass, like I said, but apparently it's also on every single other platform.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's I saw it for $5 on if you want it for your iPhone. I also saw it from time to time. I actually think I own this one game as well too. I've seen it on sale on the Switch for like $1.99, because I know the normal this game is $20 for consoles. So again, if it wasn't on Game Pass, it would be $20. I think it's $20 on Steam right now too. But again, I know that it won a lot of awards, and that's what actually kind of made me get this game when I saw it for sale for so cheap, because I was like, well, one of these days I'm gonna pick it up and try it out, because I know that it was something that was kind of a big breakthrough for this the studio.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive and unique. Again, it's another one of those unique games. It's and it's bite-sized, which is nice. So if you can get it for real cheap or free, especially, it's a nice little thing to kind of cleanse your palate.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep things moving with News Bites.
Oh, yeah.
Yum! Nom 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 nom.
Tasty.
All those bites. They're delicious.
They are. They're magically nutritious.
Yes. Part of this complete breakfast.
Right?
All right. So what do we got here? First one, Ratchet and Clank version for the PS5 is getting a 60 frames per second update.
Yeah.
Oh, give me all those frames.
Yes, right? Yeah. Hey, we can enjoy a little PS5 upgrade. It's not too terribly much, but hey, breaking it up from that native 30 on the 4, that's pretty awesome. And this is free. Can't argue with free. For free.
Way to do it right?
Yep, exactly. Unlike a certain skateboarding remaster featuring a Birdman.
Boo.
I know, right? So again, this was the game that they gave for free here all the way up through March 31st, and we mentioned it a couple times on the show. So if you missed it, I'm sorry, but it was available for almost 2 months. So I know also in the games that came with the PlayStation 5 part of that package or whatever like that, I believe this game's already in it too. But now as of mid-April or so, they're going to be releasing this upgrade to sort of patch that up to sort of the next gen kind of system. This is from 2016, so it's kind of cool that they're kind of digging back into the catalog now and bringing those first parties up to PlayStation 5.
I want Death Stranding. Death Stranding, they need to bring that up to PS5, and I want haptic feedback, and I want the adaptive triggers. That would be amazing for that game. That game was totally made for that.
Would you play it all over again?
No, but I would probably play it. Well, I platinumed it, remember? Let's give a golf clap for the platinum.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Tasty.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and as Shred always says, shiny. I can't do it as well, but... yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I mean, it totally makes sense because you're holding the triggers and stuff to balance yourself. I mean, come on.
I know. And
feeling the different, minutia of the ground and things that you're walking over. It's a no-brainer.
All right.
And I want to see it in 4K 60 frames too.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be.
Anyways, this is not what we're talking about, and as of now, we don't even know that that's happening. So.
Right. We'll have to fact check. We'll be back with that. Another show for sure. But this is obviously this is kind of to make fans happy, get them excited for Rift Apart, which is coming June 11th. So I think this is a really smart move to give away this game for free. It's the same kind of the theory that I believe is coming for Horizon Zero Dawn, which has been confirmed that April 19th that game will also be released for free. So if you haven't played it yet, because that game I believe is still slotted for 2021 for holiday of 2021 for Christmas time to come out. So that'll be really big. I know that there have been a lot of delays. This one, we still haven't heard if it's going to be delayed or not, but Rift Apart's coming June 11th. And then again, like I said, I think they're just trying to build hype for the next, gen for those sequels. So it should be really great. Yeah. Witcher 3, however, weirdly enough, Wild Hunt's getting a next gen version coming, sort of second half of 2021. I'm kind of torn. I mean, I don't really care. This game came out in 2015. It's kind of falling down the pitfall of Skyrim, where they're making the same mistake as Bethesda did with putting on every platform possible.
Mistake or the most money possible?
Probably the most money possible, especially because they're still trying to fix the dumpster fire that was Cyberpunk. Yeah. I think what they should do, really honestly, is fix Cyberpunk, then come back to a game that was released back in 2015. I know that it, everyone builds it up. It's one of your best games out there.
It is excellent.
And everyone fell in love with Geralt and that storyline. So I definitely think that you can pay it tribute, but kind of fix if you're gonna play with a new toy, pick up your old toys first, right? That should be the thing.
It should, but they also have split recently into separate teams. So how many people? I mean, could they actually have the entire company working on bug fixes for Cyberpunk 2077, or is that unrealistic? I mean, you got art people and all these other people that are doing stuff that need something else to work on too.
I suppose that's true. I feel like maybe have the art people or the music people working on things that, like, for maybe next gen or whatever like that, or like for their next IP, or whether that's Witcher 4 or like something else, as an offshoot of Cyberpunk or whatever the case may be. But it's unfortunate, that this shouldn't have been pushed. I really think
terrible,
that yeah. And there was so again, kind of just a follow through with Cyberpunk. There was a sizable patch that did come out to address some bugs, latency and frame rates, and other issues. However, that patch, while it made it better for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One to an extent, there have been reported issues with the PC, the 5, and the Series X now all of a sudden happening, where some players have their weather completely stuck in sandstorm. Like the rest of their game is just constant sandstorm. Yeah. And others are seeing like AI cars just completely bugging out, like just driving in circles, like doing donuts, like constantly.
I thought I had heard something about cars just raining down. Like if you spawn somewhere, like sometimes they just be like a giant pile of cars would fly down and like blow up.
That's crazy. I didn't hear that.
I think I read a clip about that.
That's hysterical. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they had raining dildos at one point, so
now that's some bad weather.
It is something that would be a terrible store to be stuck in.
This hurts.
Yeah. Right. So I guess the PC is reporting other issues like the game crashing, the screen going black. So even like those high powered machines, those super souped up computers are having issues with this game. So I don't know. They seem to be kind of, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, or 2 feet, or how many feet backwards. But it doesn't seem like they're making a lot of headway. And at one point you gotta acknowledge, like, are you too far gone? Like, can you just walk away from it? Like, cut your losses. This is kind of becoming a joke now. 4 months in, like, this isn't a No Man's Sky where there was where they overpromised and underdelivered.
Mm-hmm.
This is they overpromised, underdelivered, and there was just so many bugs. And
that PlayStation wouldn't even allow it to be sold on their store.
Right, they're not even back to the. Yeah, it's still not there.
That's crazy.
Yep. So I guess what they like CDR came out and said that they really didn't even consider the limitations of previous gens. So like of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they were really designing the game here for the 5, Series X, and PC, but they also wanted to capture that market, but they just didn't consider like having no load times between Night City was going to be possible without there being so many bugs. And so I was like, how can you be so like?
How could you not consider that? I mean, it's,
right.
Clearly, it's a separate, like a different console generation.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. That's just a political answer.
It's a terrible answer. Like I said in here, I just said it's like spreading yourself too thin. Like when you're making a grilled cheese and you put too little butter on it, you just burn the shit out of the grilled cheese, and you're like, this isn't what I want to eat. So,
and do you eat it or do you throw it away?
You throw it away. That's what you do.
Yep.
And then you blame Sony and make them give you back your money.
Then you sue the manufacturer of the butter and the bread.
Right. Absolutely. So I was really bummed to see this kind of reaction from them. And again, I'm grateful that they're fixing bugs. I don't know if I'm ever going to play this game. I would like to at some point because of it was something that was on my radar for such a long time. It was so hyped up. And I wanted to love it. I really did.
If you could play a version of the game that had no bugs or little bugs, I guarantee you it's an awesome game.
Oh, I can't. So I pray that day comes. I know that it took, 76 is still walking, or I'm sorry, Bethesda's still walking back 76 and trying to make that appealing to everybody. I know that, No Man's Sky, I think probably is one of the biggest examples of a game that, said, okay, we fucked up. Let us take it back to the drawing board, fix it, and bring it back to you and deliver what we actually promised. And it took them 2 years to do that. So, if that's how long it takes CD Projekt Red to do with this game, fine, so be it. I hopefully by that point I'm owning a 5 or an Xbox, Series X at that point, so I can play it on the, next gen. And the next gen's versions are supposed to be coming out this year still. So
I'm hoping that maybe that.
Right, yeah, seriously. Especially because they just bailed on their online multiplayer add-on or new game, which is really disappointing.
So this takes us into the next in the string of Cyberpunk news bites.
Yeah.
So what happened here? They just decided to bail out.
Yeah, I I think it's hard to identify if this is them just saying, we're cutting their losses on this game, saying, they're going to try to fix everything they possibly can, then just move on. Because it has been 4 months and they still haven't been added back to the PlayStation Store. And it's not looking good for them.
Crazy.
So I think they were trying to corner the market on like a Grand Theft Auto 5 set in the cyberpunk sci-fi world, which would have been great. I mean, that GTA 5 like pretty much prints like a fuck ton of money for Rockstar. Like it's just like a cash cow. And I think that's they would have been sort of the first game of its type to offer that type of multiplayer online if they could get because they just acquired a studio to help them bring this game online. Like they literally just picked up a studio to help them with online multiplayer games. So, now it's, to be seen if whether or not they're going to, move forward with having, online game at some point in the future with maybe a different IP or something like that. Because if they if they bailed on the Cyberpunk multiplayer, what good is that, company they just bought out for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
It does suck, but
I'd rather have the game working though.
Right. Absolutely. I don't need a multiplayer, maybe in a few years or whatever like that, revisit it. But just make the game, perfect. Like you wanted it to.
Yes, exactly. Well, I did beat it. So I mustered my way through it on the PS5. So it was okay for me. But there were a couple times where I was just like shaking my head like this is just not good.
Yeah.
But most of the time it was okay.
Yeah, I like I said, I was really hyped up for this. It's a first-person shooter, from a studio that makes third-party or third-person kind of camera. It's something completely out of left field for them. I mean, they just do fantasy, so like this would have been kind of like the difference between going from Final Fantasy like 6 into Final Fantasy 7. We're going from fantasy to like complete like sci-fi. So this would have been really cool, and I wish that this would have fucking exploded like it was meant to, but it's just unfortunate.
I still kind of wonder why they did it in first person to begin with, rather than just doing like a third person, like Witcher kind. Do you think it was because they wanted to stand out so much more or so much differently than Witcher, because Witcher was already third person?
I think they should have just gone third person. It would make more sense because you do so much designing of your character, like what you look like, what you're, what like who like. If it's in first person, you never see your character.
There's plenty of mirrors to look at,
right?
And you can punch them too.
Nice, but I just think it's so strange to make it so like where you can create your character in so many different ways. I mean, like to the point where you're like creating bulges and like giant asses and like huge dongs. Like I mean, like you could like it's the craziest ability to like morph yourself into like these crazy humanized people, and you don't even see it. Like it's sort of like like, oh, all right, well I guess cutscenes and I guess mirrors, but just let me see my character. Like it doesn't make sense. I would imagine
I do think that the reason was to be more immersive, because it's very clear when you play the game that they bend over backwards to like make you feel like you're actually the person that you're seeing on the screen is interacting with. So there's a lot of that, they grab you and they're like, oh, you got to come help me with this and da da da. And it's a lot of like in your face, like, oh, why are you up in my business? Like, this isn't how real people interact in the world. Hey, you see this? You follow me. It's almost like it was created for 3D or something, but or VR. But, Anyways, all right. So let's move on to the next sad trombone.
Yeah, right. But that's okay. We've got
we have some good trombones too.
Yeah, right, for sure. We've got the Xbox games and we got the PlayStation Plus games. So these are going to be Xbox first with Gold. So we're getting Dark Void, which I guess is a Contra prequel. This is coming in April. Yeah, so I think it should be coming this week. That'll be some of these games are available. It's weird because Xbox games with Gold, it's I was looking at the dates or whatever, and like some of them like start like mid-month and like go to like the end of the month, or like some like extend into like the middle of May. It's really weird how they do that. I'm not really sure why. Because with PlayStation you get like a finite, like this is the day, it's a hard date here and a hard date there, and that's it. There's no like wiggle room. So Xbox is getting Vikings Wolves of Midgard, which came out in 2017. It netted like a 67% on Metacritic. So that's a fantasy game.
That's a solid meh. It sounds like
solid meh. Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care about it, but 67 isn't horrible. I mean, it could be worse.
You're right. It could be. They have a truck racing championship, and at first I thought this sounds stupid, and then I looked into it a little bit more, and it's actually pretty interesting. It's like European truck racing, so it's kind of trippier. It looks kind of nice, but anyways, it's still only got a 68 on a Metacritic, and it came out in 2019. Then they've got the Dark Void that we talked about. That's a 2010 game, so that's
one of their back compat things where they're expanding the backward compatibility catalog.
Now this only got a 59 on Metacritic. So
that was in 2010, right? Or is it still up to date?
I mean I just Googled it, so I don't know if that was the initial reaction to it when it first came out, or if it's been since then.
It's gotten worse over the last 11 years.
I don't know. Maybe it didn't age well, like fine wine or cheese.
It's possible.
It is. And then Hardcore Uprising from 2011. This is actually the best rating out of it, and it looks kind of like an anime game. So I looked into it just a little bit because it was, again, the best one of the showing of the 4 games there. But it made me question, like, does Microsoft just hate their players? Like, these games kind of blow. Like,
yeah.
And I get that, like, they're not putting first party on there, because why put first party when you can just have Game Pass? And I really honestly think what they need to do, steal them now from every other streaming platform. Do your games with gold and your Game Pass for $12.99. Everyone's going to buy it $12.99. There's not a reason why not to, especially if it's like $2 more than what gold is. So boom, then they get all the first parties, and then you can stop doing these stupid games. And then you give them all the ability to chat with friends and play with friends online and everything else. So $12.99. There you go, Microsoft. I've solved it for you. And then once 75% of the market is on that, then you bump it to $14.99. And when they're like, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe or whatever like that, you're like, well, not everyone's going to unsubscribe for $2 more. And that's what you're already selling, is that $14.99. So suck it down for a couple months or for a year or something like that for $2 off. Give them the $12.99, and then boom, just do what everyone else does when, because I know when it happens to Netflix and Hulu and Disney's going up too from $5.99 to $7.99. So when that happens, I'm always like, grumble, grumble, grumble. But then I don't cancel it. I mean, I'm fucking still paying all that shit. So,
Don't tell them your secret.
Right. Yeah. So just learn from the methods that are out there.
It's very clear that they don't care about the games with gold. Then they shouldn't, because they're putting all their good stuff on Game Pass. So
right. I mean, not only getting first parties, day one, you're also getting plenty of other games too that are
NDA Play and Bethesda now, and it's just it's foolish not to have it. If you can afford the $4 extra, what is it? Is it $10 a month for gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you can afford the $4 extra, or cancel one of your other streaming services, because this is totally worth every penny and more. They could easily charge more for it. $15 is already low.
Because I want to say that you still can't bundle the one on PlayStation, so you still have to have the monthly PlayStation Plus sub, and then also their Now or whatever it is. But that's $20 right there, and for $14.99 you get the gold plus the Xbox Game Pass, which is vastly superior than the PlayStation. So
plus, if you got a PC, you're gonna get Game Pass for PC for that price too, and you get access to xCloud. So
yeah.
And I fully expect Microsoft to deposit a few extra free months in my account for all this promotion.
Yeah, I'd like some shekels for that, please.
All right, now to the complete opposite side of the spectrum. PS Plus games for April were announced. Woo-wee!
Yeah. So, for the PlayStation 4 owners, it's kind of a want-want. For the PlayStation 5, though,
it's
kind of pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie.
So we've got Oddworld Soulstorm, which is brand new. It's coming day one on PS Plus, which is awesome. And do we know, is this a PlayStation exclusive?
Oh yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Okay, cool. Yep. And so cool. It's the new version of the Abe's Odyssey games and that kind of thing. So I'm super excited about it, especially as a free game. I probably wouldn't have bought it. I would have considered it, or probably got it from GameFly, but the fact that it's free is just awesome. So I like that. Yeah, and then the other things are kind of meh. But Days Gone came out in 2019, 71% on Metacritic. But that is another Sony first party exclusive.
Yeah.
So it did not get like great reviews, and I haven't played it yet, but it still looks cool. And that was the one that they kept showing for years at E3 that had like a crap ton of zombies on the screen, and at one time you had to like run away from them because there's just too many.
Yeah. I remember seeing like the winter storm kind of like take over, and I remember there being like a zombie fox or whatever, like that was like eating like a corpse of something, and then like it comes charging at you. I remember that from that. I have to correct myself. Actually, I just fact checked myself when I said that Oddworld was only coming. It's
not exclusive.
It is not. It's on Microsoft Windows as well, but it doesn't say that it's coming to Xbox.
Oh, so it's console exclusive.
Right. So it sounds like it's console exclusive. You'll still be able to play it on PC, but. Okay. Yeah, but you
that
won't
would be weird if they didn't let you play it on PC because that's where the game originated from.
Yeah, so but it's coming to 4 and 5. Unfortunately, you 4 users, you're not getting the 4 version of Oddworld for free. But you 5 users, good on you.
That's probably what they thought. They're like, well, not that many people have 5. We'll give it away for free on the
right. It's probably exactly. Yep.
Those bastards.
Probably also the reason why they did the Final Fantasy VII remake for free on the 4, but then they said you gotta pay $10 if you want that upgrade to that PlayStation 5. So, dicks.
Yep. Oh well, it is what it is.
And then they're also doing Zombie Army 4, Dead War, which I guess is like a Hitler spin on Nazi zombies, which I know Call of Duty has kind of done a fuck ton out of. So. That one got a 72 on Metacritic, and that came out just last year in 2020. But it does seem very strange that in the middle of April, during a pandemic, that they would have 2 zombie games. I don't know if they're foreshadowing, sort of our impending doom.
Hopefully not.
COVID-19 turns into the zombie thing that Resident Evil was always talking about.
That would be crazy.
Right? And then Skynet's real, too. Who knows?
Right.
But this seems kind of like it should have been. It feels like an October kind of release to me, with the horror and alien sci-fi kind of thing. Like it feels like an October kind of games for the PS Plus. But I'll take it.
It does seem like an obvious theme. I mean, I don't understand why they would have. I mean, I guess there's a lot of zombie games, so whatever.
Right?
Maybe they're like, hey, this month we're gonna get all the zombie fans excited.
Yeah, right. I don't know what they're building for, except for maybe that new Left 4 Dead game. I know it's not called for Left 4 Dead, but it's from the same studio. But I can't think of another zombie game that's coming out.
Resident Evil, but I guess that's not really zombies so much as it is like monsters now. But
True.
There might be zombies in there.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get a trifecta of the werewolf, vampire, and zombie.
I mean, we have a giant vampire woman, so
I can't wait to see her in action.
It's terrifying. In the demo, you see her come through the door. It's like, oh, yeah.
I guess IGN just recently posted a recent video of like the first 5 minutes of gameplay. I'm actually excited to tune in, but I kind of also don't want to give it anything away.
Yeah, I'll wait for that.
Yep.
All right, let's keep things moving here. What do we got next?
For sure. So we got PlayStation Store, unfortunately, shutting down the PlayStation 3 store, the PS Vita, and the PSP.
No!
And that was just officially announced. I know, it's so sad. And I get it. They're trying to, get everyone towards, the new PlayStation.
The new PlayStation 4?
Well, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. I should say they're trying to transition people to the 5.
It's been out. How long has PlayStation 4 been out? Like 6 years?
Since 2013, I believe. So it's
been
out
8 years?
Yeah, 7 years
this should have been shut down years ago. Are you kidding me?
So the one thing that I could say is that I don't think PS Vita or PSP should be shut down.
That
PS3
one they should leave up, yeah.
Right, because those are the only mobile version of your games. So I really think that they're kind of saying, well, we're done with doing these Switch knockoffs, or we're done with doing sort of a mobile aspect of our games. I know that you can now with remote play, you can play a lot of your PlayStation games like on PC or on your phone or something of that nature if you've got the apps and everything. So it does kind of convert to more of a mobile experience. But there's something about the Vita that I really liked a lot. Actually, there were some games that exist digitally only that are going to be missed. There are 2,200 digital only games that are on these consoles. Whether it's on the 3, the Vita, or the PSP. A lot of them are either on the Xbox, PC, or Switch, so those games are gonna be around. But there are still about 120 games though that will just vanish, like as if they never existed. Yeah. So, with gaming conservation, being such a hot topic right now, we've got another news bite to kind of talk about that too. Preserving games and keeping that history is something that is a big thing that a lot of people are paying attention to, because eventually these licenses will run out. 100 years from now, what company is actually still going to be around? Is EA still going to be kicking out games? Is the Bethesda, Sony even going to be a thing anymore? Who knows? And so that preservation of sort of the history of video games is something that a lot of people are taking serious right now. And so again, there's going to be 120 games that are just going to sort of vanish. And I don't have the full detail. You can go to IGN and take a look at that, because I know the dates for the PlayStation 3 and also the PSP. Those are going to be, I believe, June was when they were saying that those stores will be done, and the Vita is up until August, the end of August.
Well, somebody go out there and download every single game and make sure we have it. Right. I'm sure we're going to get, I'm sure as a community we'll capture most of them, and then, someday when all of the licenses run out and it's all abandonware, everyone will get to play all the games for free.
For sure.
Someday.
Maybe when there's one console to rule them all.
Miss the horrible future that nobody wants. Actually wants. All right. Next we've got, have you ever wanted to try out Elder Scrolls Online? Well, now you can for free.
Yeah, they are doing a promotion right now. So Elder Scrolls, if you're following the series for the online, they are transitioning into, they've done Morrowind, they've done Skyrim as their expansions. They're now going into Oblivion.
Nice.
And so, so this will be the next chapter in that game. I believe that comes out in June. But they're running a promotion right now where if you've ever wanted to try it out, just to kind of dip your toes into the world, you can try it out from March 31st through April 13th.
Wow.
You can enjoy it completely for free. And this is a game that it's just a buy once, but it is an MMO. But it's one of the MMOs that you don't have to subscribe to.
Nice.
There are perks to subscribing to it, where inventory is better, and then you get some perks with so there are DLC patches that come out, intermix the expansions. So the expansions everyone pays for, but the DLCs, however, if you subscribe to their $15 a month or whatever like that, you get all the DLC that comes along with it. So all the new dungeons that they introduce, all the new armor sets, and again, it does also slightly increase experience gain and slightly increase gold gain, but it's not where it's game breaking. Right, it's not game breaking by any means. I played it both ways, and it's almost negligible. You're not missing out a whole lot of anything. So this is going to allow you to enjoy it for free and also begin the Gates of Oblivion story prologue that will tie into the new expansion, which is Blackwood. That's, like I said, it's about to come out here in June. And if you like what you play, right now it's also super heavily discounted. This game, you could typically pick up the base package for ESO for $20, but I think it's $5 right now. So super cheap. Check it out. You can play it pretty much on everything except for Switch. So
it's also free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So again, just get Game Pass.
Yeah, just get Game Pass.
It's the best way to do it.
And kind of rolling with games to try out for free right now. Knockout City, which is the dodgeball, which is actually doing an open beta crossplay. So you're playing with people. I believe this is true from what they're saying with the crossplay, is that it's open on the Switch, it's open on the Xbox, and it's open on PC and PlayStation. And all of them are open. Is what
has that
saying.
Ever happened?
I don't know.
Is Rocket League like that? I think Rocket League is like that.
I think Rocket is, but I don't know if you're playing PC players too. I
think you do in Rocket League. But either way, that's still awesome.
Right, and this is a beta, so I tried it out. Graphics are, I actually really like it. It reminds me kind of like your Destruction All Stars and Overwatch. It's got that cartoony, very colorful. It pops. It really does pop. You can make your own hero to an extent. Like everyone's got different skins, and I'm assuming this will come with some kind of battle pass where you'll earn experience points, which will unlock different skins
Yes,
and
the
different
new business model.
Exactly. It'll be a free game when it comes out.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I tried it out on Friday. I downloaded Friday. The servers were stressed the fuck out. Like I got multiple errors. It kicked me out of so many matches. I was so pissed. And I was like, okay, right. And I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not gonna try anymore. I was like, screw this. I'm gonna wait for the game to just fully come out. And then I was like, well, let's see if Saturday was a little bit better. I did get into it, played a few different matches to their extent. So I was doing a 3-on-3, and you play essentially up to 3 matches to win the round. Or I'm sorry, you play 3 rounds to win the match. And it's a best 2 out of 3 situation. And you get 2 hearts. And if you take 2 dodgeballs, boom, you're dead. And then you revive, and it's whoever gets 10 kills first.
Can you catch them?
You can. Yep.
Excellent. I hate dodgeball games where you can't catch the ball.
Yeah, no, you totally can catch it, and it's a pretty cool mechanic. If you're targeted, your entire screen turns red, like there's a border around your TV. Yikes. And it turns red. And then it'll tell you from which direction it's coming from, so you can like spin around really quick and go like catch the ball.
Oh, that's
just
cool.
Before it hits you. Yeah, so it's very cool. And they also have, which I thought was really cool, like different dodgeballs. Like one's like a mine that takes a little time to like charge up, so it's like an undersea, like sub sinking kind of mine, and you can throw that at people. Then you also get like a football one that like targets people, so it's super cool. Like I said, it's pretty dang fun. So try it out. It's only this weekend only, so I know there's a few people in our chat right now, so if you're interested in playing a really trippy dodgeball game, I'm sure by the time this goes live on Monday, unfortunately that beta will be closed, but hopefully you got a chance to try it out, because it does look pretty good. I'm actually really excited to try this out.
When's it coming out, did you say?
I'm not sure when the full game's coming out.
Maybe
I think it's 2021, but I think they're beta testing it right now to make sure that their service can handle that load.
Sweet, which it can't. I don't think there's been a game in history that has been able to, where they've been able to handle the load,
right?
If you will. All right. What do we have here? World's largest cheating ring busted.
Right. This is crazy. So honestly, I mean, cheats have been around for like the longest time. I actually didn't even realize that there were like companies that like did this, but I guess this company here, which is called Chicken Drumstick, which is the weirdest name. It's the organization is called Chicken Drumstick.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and they would create like aimbots and like other like cheats for like players to use.
Sick.
This is super illegal, I guess. I didn't realize it.
So
I guess so Tencent, which is like the shareholder for like PUBG and a few other games as well too. Like they're huge. I think that's the League of Legends even too. But the Tencent plus the Chinese police teamed up to stop this this illegal video game cheating organization. Like I said, would sell cheats to popular games like Overwatch and then Call of Duty Mobile. I guess they arrested 10 people. They seized over $46 million in assets, which include like some crazy, super pricey luxury cars. Like,
what?
I was like, yeah, it's like if you go Google it right now, like they've got like these green, like neon green, like Lamborghinis that are all tricked out and like millions of dollars worth. And they took that.
Yeah, I mean, that just tells you how many people are buying this crap. It's just insane.
It creates so what this was is this organization would sell like a daily cheat like for $10. So like if you wanted to like just
cheat all day,
climb the ranks and cheat all day, you spend $10. They had a weekly package too for I think $50, and then they had a monthly for $200.
How do they? I want to know how they deploy this. Like if it's an aimbot, like how does that even work? I don't get it.
I don't get how that would work with like consoles or anything, but I mean I'm not in the
with PC. I guess it could be a patch or something that they put on.
Yeah,
on the PC.
But I guess they were able to create a revenue of over $76 million. And like I said, they had the $46 million of just assets that they were seized. So
it's ridiculous.
Right, which is crazy. But like, I mean, these companies exist for a reason. And I guess there was a survey done in 2019 that said about a third of all gamers, not just professionals, use cheats to improve their chances online. And
How
the reason
is that
why
even a thing?
I don't know, but I mean, that was just a survey that was done, and it's whatever they can do to get a leg up on the competition, because there are so many competitions out there now that are sponsored with money or gear or something like that. So if you can get an edge up, I know it's fucked up, and that's the reason why these organizations exist. So my advice is get good or get the fuck out.
Yeah, nobody wants to win by cheating. Come on, really?
Yeah.
Are you really gonna feel good about yourself at the end of the day? Probably pretty fucking good when you're driving around in your green Lamborghini. I'll say that, but
right. It's crazy.
You're still a dick.
Yeah, I'm still a dick.
All right.
On a completely unrelated note, there was a news bite that came out here actually as of yesterday. There was an unopened 1986 Super Mario Brother that sold at auction for a record $660,000. $660,000.
Game of the year.
Yeah. It's a huge record-setting auction price. So
That's
last
insane.
summer, it's crazy. Like I said, preservation has been such a key thing, but also just the collection of video games now is like taking over. Like it's mainstream almost to a point. But this is huge. I mean, like the last, there was a record that last year back in 2020 there was an unopened 1987 that sold for like $117,000. So I mean.
Apparently, that year difference is 5 times the amount or something.
Right. I guess what they said was literally a family bought it like for Christmas for one of their kids, put it in a bag, and then like put it in the desk and meant to like get it, and then just like forgot about it, and then fucking
poor kid.
Yeah, right. But 30 years or 40 years later, roughly, I guess, 35 years, I suppose. 35 years later, it sells for more than $500,000.
That's crazy. Insane.
Yeah, so if you're a video game collector, hold on to that shit, because one day it could really be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, if you don't want to play Mario for 35 years, then you can make some bank.
Yeah.
Still
or just buy 2 of everything.
Still a poor investment, though, I think.
Yeah.
Waiting 35 years for that to come to
mature.
fruition.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so next we thought for Easter we would do some little Easter eggs, some of our favorite Easter eggs. We're just lumping it in with the bites because why not?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some of our favorite Easter eggs from video games. So what's the first one here we've got?
So we've got a Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. So when you're exploring the castle, Hyrule Castle, you can look at some of the windows there. One of the windows has the cutscene where Zelda's being chased around by Ganondorf, but then another window you can look through, it has paintings of Mario, Luigi, and Bowser hanging up in the castle. You can just take a look. So it was a really cool little Easter egg that
I see them.
they provided. Yes, it's very cool.
That's awesome. No, they're so blurry. That funny N64 like displaying like raster or like just images, like flat images. So bad.
It's so bad.
But it looked so awesome at the time.
Right,
and you're like,
my God,
is that Bowser? Is that part of the Easter egg? Is you just can't really tell,
right?
Because it's so blurry.
I wish this was like a way that like, I don't know if it's just art. Like maybe for back in Hyrule, this was art to them, or maybe is Mario and Zelda within the same universe,
and those are their pictures of their friends,
right? Or maybe something like like previous rulers of the world or like saviors of the world. Or I don't know why Bowser would be up there.
Oh, well, he's Ganondorf. Clearly, he's the.
All right.
Yeah, he's the manifestation of the calamity.
Yeah.
That's an interesting theory, but I'm pretty sure the developers were just saying hi.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's still pretty cool, though.
Very cool.
All right, so the next one we have here, hold on a second. There we go. A bunch of dead cows.
A bunch of dead cows.
Sad.
So this is Diablo 2. So this was the secret cow level. So this was a rumor in the original Diablo. It was kind of a wild rumor, and a lot of people kind of believed it, and then some people didn't. But the developers caught wind, and they're like, well, we're going to put this in our sequel. and it's a big Easter egg to obviously the first one, and it's a nod to that. So I'm hoping that it comes out in the remaster they're doing for it, and we'll see, because
The Cow
I love
King.
the yes, right, exactly. So I definitely want to slay some cows. We'll
awesome.
see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Adorable.
Adorable.
All right. I added this one on there. This is Super Mario RPG. There's a really cool 8-bit Mario cameo in the game. And so long before 2D Mario made an appearance in Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch, which he is all over that. There's 2D Mario all over that game in the 3D world. Mario RPG for Super Nintendo brought the 8-bit sprite into the isometric 3D world. So you can see that on the screen there. It was cool. Nice. So basically you just ran behind that block as the regular Mario character, and then you'd come out as this Mario sprite. And I think you could run around this room as that Mario sprite, but as soon as you left the room, you went back to like the regular one. Okay,
gotcha.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool though.
Nice.
Still liked it. All right, this one's scary. Avert your eyes.
Yes.
Hide your children.
So this is Dead Space. So the Easter egg here was the Nicole is dead. So spoiler alert, if you've never played Dead Space, I'm sorry I'm ruining this for you, but it's wonderful. Dead Space is so good.
I'm going to play it. Yeah, there's like 3 of them, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the first one is by far just so good.
And they're all on Xbox. Game Pass.
There's honestly some of the best horror games. I hope they get remastered or they add a new one. I don't know why they stopped, because this is like on par with like Resident Evil kind of like jump scare. It's so crazy. Like this game, so good. But anyways, back to the Easter egg. So you're playing as this character, like the person that is in love with Nicole, and that's the whole reason that you're out there to like save her. And the first letter of the title of each chapter spells out the fate of Nicole, which says Nicole is dead, which is the whole reason your hero's even there. So if you go through it, there's 12 chapters, and each one of those spells out that, and that's an Easter egg there the developers put in. So her fate was already sealed before he even showed up.
They knew.
Those bastards.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check those out at some point.
Oh, so good.
All right, this blurry Easter egg is from Uncharted 3. There's a newspaper that references in a pub that references the deadly fungus that foreshadows the events of The Last of Us.
Funny thing, it's really funny. So this was meant to be an Easter egg. However, Last of Us Part 1, or The Last of Us, or the original Last of Us, came out before this game did, and then they didn't scrub it, like, because this was supposed to be a nod to the upcoming game for The Last of Us, and someone didn't scrub it out because, like, what would be the point of announcing this? This fungus or whatever like that, if again the game was already out. So
I don't know. I think it kind of ties the worlds together, right? It kind of makes them.
It totally does.
Part of the same universe.
I would love to see, I've never played Uncharted, so I can't speak to it. Nathan Drake. It would be really cool to see like Nathan Drake somehow like make his way into like where Ellie and him are like in the same like that could be literally like the third part of Last of Us or whatever.
That could be really cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty trippy.
We'll keep dreaming.
I want to say though that like if you're looking at this title right here for this newspaper, scientists are still struggling to find out. It means like it's obviously in the infancy.
Yes.
So Nathan Drake is probably old as shit, probably like grandpa style age or whatever like that. But maybe like Nathan Drake's like great grandson could be around or whatever, and him and Ellie could team up or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, I like
next one we got here is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing here is Samus Aran's ship from Metroid.
Yep. So in the level of the Busted Bayou, you can see the shadow of Samus's gunship hiding in the trees there.
Yes.
It like blends in perfectly, but if you're looking closely enough, you will see it. And it's so cool. Like they would just bring that into it. So, again, just my daughter, I guess, typed on my wife's phone saying hello, baby.
Aw, cute.
Yes. But no, that's super cool. Just love it when game developers pay a nod to, another one in the series.
Especially something like this where it absolutely doesn't belong there at
Right.
all.
Right.
But it's cool. So like Samus flew there and crashed or whatever.
Right. Very cool.
Crazy. All right.
Yes.
This one also doesn't belong, obviously, but it's a funny. It's a really interesting, funny nod.
Yeah.
So what is this one?
So this is Wolverine. It's a video game. First off, just a huge fan. This game didn't really do that well, but it's just it's comical that they included the Hatch from Lost in Chapter 1, and then in Chapter 2 they include Frostmourne, which is the weapon that changes Arthas from being Arthas to the Lich King. So like they had like multiple.
Is that in World of Warcraft?
Oh yeah, so Warcraft 3, so Ice Throne starts off where Arthas is looking for a way to end the Horde, and so he finds a super powerful sword like stuck in the ice, and he picks it up and it like corrupts him and he turns into the Lich King. So so this is Warcraft 3, starts on Warcraft 3 and then obviously transitions into World of Warcraft. But yeah, Frostmourne was totally a Warcraft 3 nod. It's but it's just so funny that they would put these Easter eggs in about pop culture and then also Warcraft 3, right?
Right.
Wild.
So wait. Oh, so it's Warcraft 3 then. Okay. Because I was going to ask if that exclamation point in this last screenshot there has anything to do with World of Warcraft, because that
that was also, I'm not sure about the exclamation point. I didn't read anything about that specifically. I mean, that is very WoW-esque, where they either have a question mark for a quest to give, and
but
then
maybe they just
had
had that in the Wolverine game too.
Yeah,
for alerts or something. But it totally looks like that, right?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely does.
Like the guy, the quest giver died waiting for you to come back to. I just can't. But the exclamation point's still above his head.
True.
Good job, guy.
Yeah.
You're still alive. You're still doing it.
Yeah. Still providing those quests. Thank God.
It's a service, really.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep things moving with the Shooter Roundup.
It's a service.
It's a service.
So just a few little bites here. So Fortnite, it's getting some dinosaurs.
Fortnite,
Tales from the Fort.
Tales from the Fort. The game that never keeps surprising me, or never fails to surprise me.
Right. Yeah. So they're getting dinosaurs. They're getting added to season 6, and that'll run through the beginning of June. I guess I don't know if that'll mean like the end of dinosaurs. I don't know. Maybe there'll be like a meteor or like an asteroid that comes down and
that would be awesome and wipes out all the dinosaurs.
I mean, they've done crazier shit on Fortnite where they've literally turned off the service for 3 days because they got sucked into a black hole. So
that's insane. Yeah.
Right. We could see another thing like
Stop playing. Like the balls that they have to do that. Like, quit playing our game for 3 days.
Yeah. Right.
And
it's wild.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Bruno Mars, I guess, is getting a dancing emote. So
okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna replace.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know any Bruno Mars songs. Well, maybe I do. I don't listen a lot of the radio. I don't really know.
Uptown, funk you up.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Funk
Thank
you
you.
up. But actually, that's Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars.
And
I'm sorry, I don't actually know that much about pop music, but I actually do really like Bruno Mars because my wife's totally into Bruno Mars, and
nice.
And I just think it's really catchy. It's like very Motown, like really cool, and I really feel like he could be like the next Michael Jackson. Side tangent completely.
No, it's okay. I think that's been definitely said about him for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So he'll add an emote to kind of like go along with the floss dance and everything else that's in all the other dances.
Damn floss dance! That thing will not go away. I still see people doing it.
Yep. All the time. I still can't do it for the life of me. And I'm not about to get up and try it either.
Do it.
Nope. Sorry. There's not enough money to pay me to try to
I
floss.
guarantee you that would bring all the audio listeners to the video version of the podcast, though, on Twitch or YouTube.
True. One of these days, maybe for our 200th episode, I'll do a recorded version of me trying to do the floss, man.
Yeah, you could speed it up so you can try to make it go really show the over hours and hours of you trying to perfect it. Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be good.
Yeah, but they're also doing an Easter event right now where you're collecting bouncing eggs for some legendary swag, in-game swag, I should say. I guess here's a tip: if you are a Fortnite player, head to either east of the Weeping Woods or south of the Spire. From what I was gathering, those are the places where you can go to find some bouncing eggs. I guess you need 10 to complete the quest to get this really kick-ass golden pickaxe or whatever like that. But yeah, so if you're looking for eggs, there you go. Overwatch had its annual April Fool's Day joke where everyone has
Main.
Thank you. Yes, a nod to the Schmed. Yes. Lucio Man.
There you go.
I can't do it as high as he does it.
Yeah, I don't even try it.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess they've got the googly eyes. I played a couple matches with the googly eyes.
What?
And yeah, they're a little wonky. It's like did you ever make those, like, a Walmart craft, like with the eyes or whatever like that? And
yeah, like Forky from Toy Story.
Exactly.
He's got the wobbly eyes, googly eyes.
Exactly. Yep. Those are the eyes that heroes in Overwatch have for a couple days around April 1st. Yeah,
that's creepy. I want to see some screenshots of that.
Oh yeah, they are.
I'm sure they're out there. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And then finally, PUBG. They're free low spec version of the game, also known as PUBG Lite, is getting closed April 29th. So it's getting pulled completely. So this was obviously for people that wanted to play PUBG but didn't have like a kick-ass computer or rig to run it. So there was this completely free, low spec, like, it would allow you to play it.
Oh, so they separated the high resolution, high frame rate people from the low resolution, low frame rate people. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
that's more fair, I guess.
Right, true. And but I guess it was like two sides of, like, it was actually two companies. Like one side, or one company was running the regular PUBG for pretty much everybody, and that one is obviously still going strong. There's nothing in the works for that to be shut down anytime soon. But then there was another company where they were putting a lot of resources into keeping like these servers up for the PUBG Lite. It actually got pulled from download. You can't even download that version anymore now.
Wow.
And then servers will be officially closing as of April 29th. So that is a bummer.
Yikes. Well, get a better computer or play on xCloud. It's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah,
sure it is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. Everything's on Game Pass. No, I'm saying that because I think I'm pretty sure I did see PUBG on there. I'm not just saying that every game is on Game Pass. I'm aware that is not true. All right.
It sure as hell feels like it.
Yeah, I guess it does. Anyways, that's all we've got for you guys this week. Remember, Super Joystick Radio is a weekly show, so please subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast application. iTunes. Also, become a patron at patreon.com/superjoystickradio. It really helps us out. It's helping us stay ad-free. And I've been turning down some ads just for this reason. We'd rather have you guys as part of the subscribing family so we can give you content and stuff like that and not hurt the show with ads and stuff. So please support us if you can. $1 gets you early access to the show, the audio version of the show, that is. $3 gets you early access to exclusive access to the show notes. We'll send those out every week. Exclusive. And we got a lot of screenshots and things like that, links to all the news stories and things like that in there. And sometimes stuff that doesn't make it to the show also. That's kind of cool. And you also get access to the SJR Banter Archives, which is a whole bunch of stuff, over 100 episodes of banter that was cut from before, during, and after previous shows. I will start adding more to that eventually, but it's still a huge library. So right now there's a bunch of funny, weird, crazy, probably not often good stuff. I mean, like clean, not clean for sure. But anyways, it's funny. $5 gets you all of those perks, plus a Discord badge on our server, and a mention on the show. Shout outs right now to our awesome $5 patrons: Phil Lynch, Joe Halder, Rob Belchunas, Nick, last name not specified, Caitlin, Chrissy, Justin D, Maddie Deeves, C Fresh, and Jay Schmed.
Lucio Main.
That sounded more like a wrestling thing or like goal.
Yeah, right.
Or something. That was good.
I hope he appreciates that.
You're a pro. I'll tell you that. Uh, also, all tiers also get discounts in our merch store where you can find things like SJR wrestling announcers, action figures.
Yeah, right. Oh, that'd be great. We can get an action figure of one of us, all three of us. Oh,
that'd be
that'd
awesome.
be so good, right? Oh, could you imagine what like Tuna would bring? Like I can imagine like a beach towel tied around his thing, and like he'd hit people with inflatable like balloons,
or a golden microphone.
Right? Oh yeah, absolutely. Totally. Also, these hats, if you like them, we have a SJR hat I made with using the logo. You can check them out here. I'm gonna maybe put it a little bit closer to the camera. Here it is.
I think we need it to be bigger,
probably,
but I still like it a lot.
Yeah, I do too. So again, if you're interested in maybe checking out a hat, just hit us up. We can get you one. I think they're about $30. So just let us know if it's something that you're interested in. We can get it ordered for you.
Because that's one thing out of all the crazy merchandise that our store has, it does not have hats for some reason.
You can literally order a pillow or like or
that flag behind you, Justin, right there.
Yes, the tapestry. The tapestry is amazing.
Oh yes, don't call it a flag; it's a tapestry.
It's a tapestry, sir. Yes. All
right. I'm going to keep this rolling here. Follow us on Twitter at SJoystickRadio. Follow us on Instagram at SuperJoystickRadio. Subscribe on YouTube for Let's Plays and streams. Definitely sub to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/SuperJoystickRadio so you get notified when we go live for the show. We record the show every weekend, and it varies what time and what day, but we try to shoot for Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings or something like that. And you can jump on and jump in the chat like some of these great people did today. We got a bunch of people here in the chat and getting in on the conversation. We love to have you guys be part of the show. So if you can do that, jump on Twitch when we go live and get in on the conversation. We do take answer questions and interact with you guys too. So so then lastly here, you can visit superjoystickradio.com for all of our social media links. And you can also join our Discord channel on there, and you can also see what we've been talking about on there without even becoming a member. So if you just want to like see what people are talking about on the Discord channel about video games in particular, but there's also a lot of other channels that have other things that aren't just video games. So we all, talk about what we're showing, what we're grilling, or what we're cooking for dinner, or, things like that. Not safe for work memes. It's super fun. Yep. And we literally have people from all over the world on there sharing things. So it's a good time.
We love you, Norway. That's right, baby.
57.
Fucking love you.
We were 52 or 57 in Norway.
Yeah,
it's true. The Norwegians love us. We guess.
Yeah. Fucking Vikings, man. Yes, it's the beards.
That's probably what it is. It's the beards.
Yeah.
So also, like Justin said earlier, we do try to do an SJR game night on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central. So we'll hit up the Discord channel on that day and see if anyone's feeling any games, and we play all sorts of varieties of things. We definitely need to do Killer Queen Black again soon. It actually is on Game Pass, but I also have it on Switch. So
nice.
Yes. Like I said, get in on the conversation. Leave us a text or a voicemail via the SJR hotline 630-551-8898. That's 630-551-8898. Leave us a voicemail or just send us a text. Say what's up and anything at all, even if you're just like, hey, I like the show. Hey, I don't like the show. Hey, your background's stupid. Something like that. Anything is fine. We just like to hear your feedback.
For sure.
On any platform. Like a grade school birthday party, nobody leaves empty-handed. Here's your goodie bag for the week. What do you got, Justin?
So, Console Wars, I'm sure you've heard about it. It's a book. Well, this book got picked up and it's made into a movie.
Nice.
Yes. So it showed up on Paramount Plus last year, and then when Paramount Plus bought out CBS All Access, you can now get Paramount Plus like anywhere. So like it became like Paramount Plus before was locked behind like a cable provider, so you could have it if you like had AT&T, but if you had Comcast, no dice. They didn't play well together. But now, since they absorbed CBS All Access, you can check it out. It's on Paramount Plus. If you've ever wondered about the rivalry between Sega and Nintendo, here it is. It spells it out. They're supposed to be also making a TV show of this, and Seth Rogen, love Seth Rogen. He is an executive producer, so it's a great hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. But yeah, pick it up, Paramount Plus. I think it's only a couple bucks, and then you can enjoy the movie. And if you don't find anything else you like, boom, 86 it.
I've been waiting for this movie for a long time. You can see here behind me, I have the Console Wars book on my shelf, and I've read through about half of it, and I thought I really like it. I just don't have a lot of time to read. So I just thought always, like, when are they gonna make this movie? And then I heard about Seth Rogen doing it, and I'm like, yes. But that was years ago. So I'm glad that it's out. I'll definitely be checking that out. I was very excited when I was looking at the show notes.
Yeah.
And I saw that was yours. So
yeah,
right.
I've watched about half of it so far. It's really good and really compelling. I can't wait till we'll go back and
Is it only like an hour and a half or something? Did you say?
Just an hour and a half. Yeah, it's not too terribly long, but it's really good. It's got a lot of the interviews with everybody. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm excited. All right, mine
what
is.
About you, buddy?
I stumbled upon the Star Wars Vintage Collection on Disney Plus today. I guess it came out a little while ago, but I didn't realize it. So here's what's on there. I mean, there's a couple of things on there, but they have the Ewoks Battle for Endor movie.
Oh yeah,
which was like a made-for-TV movie or like made-for-home video. So it's not great, but like I have super nostalgic, ties to that. And then there's also another Ewok movie. I forget what it's called, but there's a sequel and it's better because they have. I'm not sure if it's a Rancor, but they've got some giant monster in there and it's live action. So it's cheesy. Yeah, it's cheesy, but it's great, and I like that they have it on there. It's very, keep the vintage stuff in there. I love that.
Right, absolutely.
All right. Anyways, that's all we've got for you guys this week. Thanks for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Later, party people.